match for third place here in GG Speedruns for this match to be normal league between Oopla and Aquas. Alright, so we're gonna be doing the countdown. Okay. It's gonna be me on the boot right now today, Mr. Dino023. Hope you guys enjoyed this match. Alright, seems that we have both runners ready, so I'm gonna be counting them down here. Alright, countdown has started. Runner should be starting here shortly. We're gonna be having Oopla on the left side, France Aqua on the right side from the US. And here we go. The normal percent match for third between these two. I think it's gonna be like really close. These both are like really experienced runners. They both have like pretty good times. And I expect to see a pretty close race. Starting here into Arena 1, both getting that. The only RNG manip that we get in the game normally, which is the Razor Shield. It's gonna be Aquas with a whole shot for less than a second here, sub 40 and a 40. Okay, so yeah, about a second right now there for Aquas. Oopla had to finish a little bit over there on the top right corner, so losing a little bit of time on his way towards the door. But there's nothing that is too important in this specific run, that it's more like we say, it's more like a marathon rather than a sprint. This run is like, I guess average right now, it's about 45 minutes long. I expect both of these runners to finish below that, probably around like the 42 to 43 minute mark. But there's gonna still be a lot of way before we can determine really who has a real advantage. Right now, they're both looking to get the orb in this scenario. Very good juice by all the ogres right there for Aquas, that even though he hasn't got the orb yet, he made it out of that room in a pretty good time. Now he's having a little bit of issues. I don't think he actually lost time right there. Okay, managing the shrapnels pretty good. Never letting more than 4 to be on the screen. I mean, 4 more than 3, because that's what you want to do in this part of the arena, right? There's gonna be 18 shrapnels coming all from all the doors. You wanna defeat all the swarm, all the minions, all the soldiers before the 18 actually spawn. But at the same time, you want to keep them under control, so no more than 3 ever show up, because if you have 4 on the screen, that means that the spawn for the next one is getting delayed for as long as you keep those 4 on the screen. Very well played by both so far. Now they're gonna be going into Total Carnage. And Total Carnage, like, we can see Oopla already has the orb. Aqua's still orbless so far, so he's gonna have to make as good use as possible of any drops until he actually sees the orb. Otherwise, Oopla is gonna start cutting off time here, and there it is, the orb plus the Razor Shield. I think between the Razor Shield and the rockets that he had, I don't think they've really lost any real time there. Oh, what's going on here? Getting spam messages on YouTube. We're getting some spam messages there in YouTube. I wonder how can I moderate that. I will look at that later on. Doesn't matter right now. Alright, so it's time for some Taco Bell. Taco Bell product placement by Taco Bell. Let's have a look here. So we have Aquas going at 325. So, and Oopla is gonna be moving into tank trouble at 332. So about a 7-second lead by Aquas. I think the lead shortened a little bit right there in Total Carnage, mainly again because Aquas didn't have a orb going into Total Carnage, and Oopla actually did have it. Oh, what a nice opening weapon right there for Oopla. The rockets Rockets is definitely what you want to see to clean up those turrets on the top left and right and just make your way through tank trouble without much trouble. We can see Aquas actually having to hide out a little bit on the top left corner. Nothing to be ashamed of. This room has actually the same spawn rate as rooms in Arena 3, which is very high. Oh, and now the orb is gone. So there might be a little bit of a change of lead or maybe a super closing the gap right now by Oopla just because, yep, they're pretty much 421 versus 422. Yeah, the gap closed for 6 seconds. However, Oopla still has the orb, so he's gonna be able to attempt the ball buster. And Aquas just with a little bit of clip of spreader is gonna be pretty much gone right now. Yeah, he just uses it to get rid of the swirl. A little bit of a delay swirl for Oopla because he got grenade first drop. And oh, didn't got the ball buster. That was interesting. Didn't got the ball buster, but he also didn't lose the orb on the first attempt. So he tried a second time. He was not in the setup, in the ideal setup anymore, and he misses the second part of the second attempt of the ball buster. They both getting rid of the left arm right now. Oopla rolling the lower train, and so does Aqua. Pretty good weapon. Honestly, you can get sub 6 with just lovers, so lover's actually pretty good. Oh, that's actually a prime location for the spreader for player 1. However, Oopla is playing as the red character, which is player number 2. And that's not the location where you want to see your spreaders when you're playing as player number 2. Getting a key, and now Oopla actually is a little bit ahead. He's one form ahead right now. And it's getting good damage. It's getting good consistent damage. Some rockets is not what Aquas would like to see on Muted Man. They're both on the same phase now, but Oopla is probably about to get rid of that head. Oh, getting crushed. And now the opposite luck for Oopla. Now he's getting a prime location for a spreader. I don't know, is he gonna go? Yeah, he sees that. He sees the invincibility. He's gonna be able to take the rest of the clip. And amazing transfer damage is gonna be getting there by Oopla. Fortunately, they didn't have more clip, but still pretty good amount of damage right there for the transfer. And Oopla is gonna get out here in a sub 620, which is a pretty good time going into Arena 2. And lead is gonna be widened a little bit. Okay, taking that dead, recognizing that spreader, he's gonna be able to take some transfer damage. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of transfer damage in here, that's for sure. Another spreader right on the feet, and yeah, that's gonna be it for Muted Man. He's gonna be going at around a 636, something like that. So it is a little bit less than the 20-second lead by Oopla going into Arena 2. Still nothing that will really determine who the winner is gonna be. Like, we still have Arena 2 and Arena 3, and they just consistently keep getting longer and longer the further we keep moving into the run. So Arena 2, first room, pretty much a time room. The rooms where we get these blue, kind of like UFO satellites, whatever they are. We just call them turtles. Yes, that's right. Those blue flying things, 100% are turtles. And that's pretty much because there's another scenario here later on that it says something like, here comes the turtles or something like that, and it's a bunch of these enemies, so that's why they're called the turtles. But pretty much, as long as you don't die here and you keep your kill rate semi-consistent, you shouldn't be losing any time on this specific room. Oh, and don't grab the smart bombs. Smart bombs are actually gonna slow down the spawn rate, so smart bombs are actually gonna be making you lose time. So yeah, a little bit of 3 things you have to remember here. Keep your kill rate, don't die, don't grab smart bombs. Unless it's the end of the room, then you might want to see a smart bomb to get rid of whatever leftovers you have on the room. Okay, nicely done. Nicely played by Oopla right there, who's going to be moving into the second section of Arena number 2. Boom! At 11. And what's important about film at 11, you might ask, it's in this arena, you cannot get the orb in rooms number 1 and 3. So, however, you can get an orb in this room that Oopla is just right now. So we can see him getting out of his way even for getting keys. Reason for that is he just wants to push as many drops as possible to see that orb. And well, you know what? In the way to getting that, like getting rockets and getting a razor shield, is definitely not bad at all. But yeah, they both are gonna be fishing for an orb as much as they can in film at 11, because otherwise they're gonna be orbless up until round number 4. Oh yeah, we're gonna be seeing. Ooh. That was a little bit tricky there. Luckily, he didn't die. Another Razor Shield. Razor Shields are not bad. They're gonna be able to help you keep this kill count consistently. However, as also, like, the faster you do this room, the less opportunity you have for that orb to show up. And time is running out for Oopla, and there it is, the orb. The very last drop, and he loses it. He gets it clean. It was the very last drop for the room for Oopla right there. And just as he gets it, it gets clipped. Aquas not getting as lucky with the drops, just getting keys, not seeing an orb, now grenades, and he has to play with what he's dealt with. Like, at least, okay, there it is. So now Aquas gotta really keep this orb intact to try to gain the time lost on room number 3, because, oh man, this game is just not dealing with, like, no good luck at all for Aquas. This is horrible luck. He has to stay right there in the corner. He might be able to get out of here right now. No, he decides to still stay there. It's gonna be the end of the room. And he's got the orb. He might be able to make up some time here in Defend Me. Again, mainly because of the orb. The orb is super important. And again, Oopla is not gonna be able to get an orb up until the next room. And that's gonna be making it more difficult to deal with the disco snakes, especially if the game is not giving you any other type of drops. Just with the overall swarm and everything going on in this room. Not a extremely hectic room, but still, you always want to have an orb with you, absolutely. I guess the counterpart is you can make a little bit of better use of missiles when you don't have the orb. If you are good with the aiming of them, you can take a little bit more advantage of them. Yeah, let's have a look here when they both go out of here and see what the lead might be. There's gonna be a 10-25 by Oopla going out into Defend Me. Aquas is definitely a little bit behind right now. He was about 20 seconds away entering arena number 2. So let's have a look here when he's out of Defend Me. He's going to the corner as well. So, I mean, again, nothing wrong with that. It's just that it might make your rooms a little bit slower, but they make him safer as well. Okay, so... I mean, the lead has definitely increased over here by Oopla. About a 35-second lead so far. Is that the end? It is the end. So, 39-second lead by Oopla. So, it has almost doubled so far in arena number 2. And we can see that Oopla is actually just one full room ahead. These are fast. He's got the orb. He's properly set up. Smart Bomb is definitely a good drop, especially in this type of room where the plastic guys just spawn like a super high rate. And not only that, these plastic guys are just like, I don't know, they drank too much coffee, they potentially drank a lot of energy drinks, but they're coming, and they're coming fast for you. You can see how they're moving. Like, they're, oh, I don't know about that. There was a feed in the middle when there was a lot of plastic guys. I really didn't understood that play. I don't know if what he wanted was invulnerability instead of the orb. That was a little bit interesting of a move. I'm really not sure what was the train of thought on that one. I mean, he's making good use of that invulnerability shield, don't get me wrong, but he lost the orb on the other side, so Razor Shield is gonna help a lot. We can see Aquas potentially trying to go get that smart bomb. Yes, he does. And Aquas is almost out of this room. Now let's have a look again. So it's gonna be at 12-17. 12-17. Let's see if the gap has closed a little bit because of those deaths and because of that orb. Now, Oopla is gonna have a little bit of time here to try to get upgrades. Mainly, he might be looking for rockets to get rid of the disco snakes that are gonna be coming up shortly. And also, he's gonna want to have the orb. Oh, and Aqua's also losing the orb. Okay, this is no bueno right now. This is definitely not bueno. Now taking the death. So whatever lead he could have potentially cut right there, I don't think it's possible anymore. I don't know about that smart bomb. Yeah, okay, yeah, that was good. I was thinking that maybe he was gonna be close to the end of the room, but I think. Yeah, Aquas is just bleeding more time. He's bleeding way more time. He's gonna be about a minute behind now. Gonna be exactly like 1 minute and 1 second behind. So that lead is just extending by Oopla, which has a little bit of mishaps so far happening, but not enough for Aquas to try to be able to capitalize on them. And right now, that list is just extending and extending. Again, there's still about over half of the run to go. But being at a 1 minute lead so far in Arena 2 is definitely a good lead. Especially because Oopla doesn't seem to be slowing down at all. Let's see what Scarface has to say about it, however. There are many things that can go wrong with Scarface, which is gonna be the boss right after the Buffalo Herd. The Buffalo, the Beef Jerky, the Herky Jerks. However you want to call these guys. After this, we're gonna be heading into boss in Arena number 2. Alright. Nice dance right there by Oopla so far. Oh, and just as I was saying that, he just loses the orb. We can have the best sound in the game on Aquas' side, with those rockets going straight at the Disco Snakes, and he gets rid of all the Disco Snakes right before, like immediately, like 1 second before all the Buffalo Herd just start showing up. Goes to the corner, again, nothing to be ashamed of going into the corner. These guys move in a pretty awkward spot. They take a lot of the screen, and even if they die by just a single hit, you just feel like they overwhelm like all the pieces on here. Have a look, entering into Scarface for Oopla is gonna be a 14:51. Let's have a look at what the enter time is gonna be on on Aqua's side when he gets there. So Scarface has 2 different mechanics. It has a shield covering it up, like all the surroundings. You can see there that Oopla is actually doing damage to the shield right there. And then when you get the volleyball, the beach volleyball, you want to do damage to the face. Every time you get grenades or the volleyball attack, you're gonna be getting this invulnerability shield, which it allows you to see it like just in the same spot for quite amount of time. Oh, he takes a dead. I'm not sure he wanted to do that. That was interesting. That's fine. He's got a good amount of damage so far to the face, still missing a little bit of damage. He's got to start doing damage to the shield, however. The reason for that is you cannot go to phase number 2 of Scarface unless you kill at least 15 pieces of shield and do enough amount of damage to the face itself. So it's pretty much like two separate pieces of HP that you have to defeat before you can actually move to the next phase of Scarface. And you know what you don't want to see in this phase is rockets. Rockets are so slow in the way that they should, that they don't do enough damage, and also they don't allow you to control Scarface as much as you would like to. I think he's missing a piece over there on the top side of the shield. Oh no, okay. Oh, never mind, because okay, you have to defeat, like, it's okay if you leave one piece of shield undefeated. So yeah, that was pretty well recognized right there by Oopla. Second phase is pretty much the same thing. You have to defeat the shield, and you also have to do separate damage to the face. But he just goes into like frenzy mode on phase number 2. And if you're not careful, and if you don't have like feet or other things, like these phase can be pretty hard to like manipulate and to be able to pin it down to the corner. But so far, Oopla is doing amazing damage. Amazing damage here, dealing. Oh, a nice dodge. Look at those dodges right there by Oopla. Nicely done. Gonna be able to get rid here pretty much of the shield. An orb is gonna help like control the face a little bit better. Gonna be doing so much speed. Oh, that was an amazing phase too. Pretty good fight right there by Oopla. That's really not gonna allow to potentially make any time on the side of Aquas. So that was a 17-15 exit out of Scarface, and I think the lead is potentially just gonna keep growing here. Let's have a look in a moment here when Aquas is actually done with Scarface. I haven't seen how good he's done so far in phase 1. It seems like he's on a good spot right now. The shield is pretty much over. Yeah, that was a good phase 1 right there for Aquas. Gonna do a really good phase 2, however, because phase 2 for Oopla was just as good as potentially you can hope for. So far, doing really good amounts of damage. Oh, the dead. I was gonna say he's doing good amounts of damage. Oh no, and Oopla losing time on the time room. That's interesting. Mainly because he died. I don't even know if that dead actually takes time from you. I'm not sure. I don't think so. But you know what he took away from Oopla? It was the actual orb. There was an orb like right next to Oopla right there, and because he dies, he doesn't take it. Not a big deal if he doesn't grab an orb just yet. Pretty much rooms 1 and 2 on Arena 3 are time rooms. So it's really not that important. Oh, and we can see the behavior I was telling you about. Like, Scarface can behave on really weird ways. It was a good kill by Aquas, however. Still gonna be about a minute and 20 seconds. Yeah, about a minute and 20 seconds behind from Oopla. So this is a huge lead. This is definitely a huge lead. There's still a lot that can happen either way on Arena 3. But that's a lead that is gonna be pretty hard to come back with. As long as Oopla keeps playing at least semi-consistent. I'm not sure a lead of like minute and 20 seconds can be made up on Arena 3. Again, it can be made done, but it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be a battle against the current for sure. Alright. Oopla over here trying to keep his kill rate a little bit high in the middle, mainly because he doesn't have an orb. If you have an orb, you can pretty much just like hide on the corner and kill from there on a safe position on this room. But he's fishing for that orb. There it is. So now that he has it, yeah, he's gonna go to the corner. And the reason for that is, as long as you have a consistent kill rate here, this is gonna be pretty much a time room. You just have to kill all the minions before the shrapnels start showing up. And usually you have a little bit of a breather room before that happens. So yeah, it's a battle against the clock to make this a time room. And then when the shrapnels start showing up from all the doors, we can see that everything slowed down pretty much. Okay, you're gonna wait just for the shrapnels to again show on the doors. And I think you have to kill 8 if I'm not mistaken before the room actually lets you transition. So it's just gonna be waiting here for the shrapnels to start showing. There they go. Once they show, you want to kill them as fast as possible because there's only a total of 2 allowed to be on the screen at the same time. And you gotta get rid of the snakes as well. Taking a little bit of time right there at the very end of that room, but it doesn't matter. It was still a pretty well executed room overall. And as I was saying, since Aquas already has the orb, Aquas is just in the corner because you have just fast enough kill rate in the corner. It makes it easier to keep your orb alive. You don't want to lose an orb to a timed room and make everything like super messy. Like there's literally no reason to try to play like extremely aggressive on this room. Okay, so Oopla is on a little bit of a more, let's say, normal room right now. There's no snake shenanigans or anything weird going on. It's just like a high skill spawn rate. And it's just like you trying to keep the middle as much as possible. Which I have not mentioned, but usually on Smash TV, you want to be on the middle as much as possible. Mainly because you have direct aim to all the 4 entries of enemy spawns into the room. And it's just the best position to keep your kill rate as high as possible, which is what you want to do to move out of every individual room also as fast as possible. Nice little bit of set of upgrades so far for Oopla, helping him in the quest to try to keep the middle intact while going for that feed. Luckily, he doesn't get his orb flip. And there we go. Nice exit. Let's do another time check here. So it's going to be at 21:35, going out into Dynamite for Oopla. Let's see if Aquas is gonna be able to make some time so far. So I gotta note that down. 21:35. I'm probably gonna forget, but I'll try to not forget. And the room that now Oopla is at is gonna be a little bit of a breather right now before everything goes to complete chaos. There's gonna be the Buffalo. The Buffalo are back, and they're back but reloaded because they're gonna be having now all of these little snakes spawning from the top of the screen, which is gonna be like, it was really hard to keep the middle against the Buffalo. Now it's gonna be like pretty much impossible. Like you can get the middle for glimpses at a time, but unless the game is extremely, and I mean like extremely benevolent with you, there's no way you're gonna keep the middle just with your fire rate, your regular fire rate in this room. Let's see how Oopla plays it. It's gonna be normal to see like runners trying to go to one of the corners in this room. And there they are. There it is, the Buffalo herd again. You're gonna be trying to avoid the snakes and try to keep as much of the middle as possible. Maybe a little bit of dance, trying to avoid where the snakes are spawning to try to do the kill rate. Because not only like the snakes make it hard to dodge things, but they also make it hard to actually hit things. Because, I mean, if you hit a snake, they're going to be taking your bullet. And that's going to be at 23:08 for Aquas. 23:08 versus 21:35. That's about a minute and 38 seconds. No, 33 seconds. If I know how to do math correctly still. So, it seems that lead just keeps increasing for Oopla. It seems that he made up another like about 15 seconds or so just in, or 13 seconds just in Arena 3 so far. So Oopla still playing a tiny little bit cleaner and making shaving seconds here and there to increase the lead. And so far doing a good job not getting the orb clip, dancing around again with the snakes, trying to keep his kill rate as high as possible against this Buffalo. One of the most hectic rooms, if you ask me, in the whole run. One of the weirdest rooms to deal with. Whenever you see a smart bomb, you're actually just gonna grab it for sure if you can. You want to see Razor Shields, you want to see Rockets. Oh, and nicely done to clean up the pad of snakes right there to not get the orb clip. That was pretty close, but pretty well recognized by Oopla and pretty well reacted to as well. Oopla just doing an amazing job so far to keeping as much control as possible. Just as I was saying that the orb is actually clipped. Oh, but you know what? The game is merciful today. And just as soon as the orb is gone, it decides like, hey, you know what? You've been doing good. So here is an orb replacement for you. Not worry. Worry not. That's getting chaotic here in the corner. He's gonna be done with this. And pretty well kept at the end. Nicely done, nice and calm, nice and easy. Going into Witness Total Carnage. And this is a little bit of a similar run like the last one. We're gonna be having snakes coming out left and right, and also sometimes in the middle, while we have a little bit of these purple snakes. However, after the wait in this room, we're gonna be having just regular minions instead of the herky jerks. Which, I mean, they're still kind of hard to deal with, but they're a little bit easier to deal with than the actual herky jerks, the buffaloes. Also, one thing to note about this room, like I said, usually you want to be on the corners, right? When things are getting chaotic. But over here, if you go to the top left or top right corner, well, you're pretty much going to be having snakes like spawn like right on your face. And if you go to either one of the bottom ones, there's like mines, really limiting the amount of movement you can actually do. So corners, well, they're still gonna be an option. You just have to be a little bit more careful. I don't expect anybody going like to the top corners, to be honest. They're usually gonna be either on the bottom left or bottom right. So far, drops have been pretty decent to be able to keep a little bit of control here in the middle. Oh, that last Razor Shield went out, probably not at the best time. Had to do a little bit of funky movement, funky dancing to be able to keep that orb alive. But nicely done. Now, as I was saying, you have to be on the corner. You have to do this a little bit like L type of movement, like bottom left and then from there straight to the right, so that you don't actually get to hit those mines that are right in your face. So pretty poorly placed mines in my opinion. Oh, see, I was saying those mines are dangerous. Those mines are absolutely dangerous. Gonna be trying to take as much advantage as possible from these rockets right now. It's gonna be a a little bit like greedy right there, trying to min-max those rockets as much as possible. That almost cost a life, but pretty well played at the end right there by Oopla, who is gonna get out of this room pretty much at almost the 27-minute mark. And let's do another time check. Let's do another time check to see how far ahead would Aquas be. Oh, pretty amazing first drop right there for Oopla, the orb. Oh, and then that smart bomb helped it from getting clicked. So this room is a little bit more of a normal room. There's no more snakes on the top. Oh, the orb getting clipped. However, you still have to deal with, I don't know how many, like 12, 13, 15 disco shells. I mean, disco snakes. Which, it's definitely not fun to deal with them. Once you're done with the snakes, the room becomes a little bit more like similar, let's say, to Tank Trouble, where you just get a super fast spawn rate of regular minions, but they're a little bit easier to deal with when there is no snakes going on, no disco snakes going on, no craziness like that. He just gets the orb clip right afterwards. He gets killed by one of those snakes, and it's pretty good to go with the invincibility when you try to get rid of the snakes. Okay, so no more snakes for Oopla, an orb on the feet, and he's now all set to be able to deal with this room. Speed a little bit, like, pretty good. I really like the speed. Oh, I don't know what happened. I don't know how that did happen. Aqua's dealing with his own room without the orb, without the help of an orb. He must have got a clip like earlier today, and now it did. So again, it was about a 27-minute mark for Oopla. Who last time we checked, it was a minute and 37 seconds, 33 seconds. Oh, the lead is definitely still increasing. The lead is definitely still increasing over right now for Oopla's favor. It's almost going to the 2-minute mark already right now. Let's have a look here. So 28:54. It's about a full room ahead. It's about a minute and 54 seconds ahead by Oopla. That unless something catastrophic happens on his side, or unless we see the most horrendous RNG on Mr. Evil MC, I honestly don't see how Aquas can climb back from this. I mean, races are not over until they're over. You can still game over, which again, they both have like a lot of one-ups, so I don't think that's gonna be a possibility. But we still gotta finish the race to see what happens. So we're gonna be heading into the snake room, the cobra room boss, the cobra, the two-faced boss. Let's play the game between a game, guys. So real quick, select if you think Oopla's gonna die with a buzzsaw, left head, right head, the snipe. Just mention what you think is gonna be the thing that kills Oopla, or if he's gonna be able to make it out alive out of this room. So far doing a pretty good job right now, dancing around these cobra heads. So pretty much like the mechanics of this is, first you want to get grenades to deal as much damage as possible. Grenades are the best weapon on this boss. Second of all, if you're on top of the screen, you're not gonna get hit by the actual heads of the snakes. But if you're on the bottom of the screen, you actually can't get hit by the actual head of the snakes. I think orb. Oh, there it is. It's a bossa, and Deaver gets actually correct. Deaver wins the game within a game. Guessing for the bossa, and the bossa it is. Like I was saying, grenades are the ones that do the most damage. Spreader is actually not bad. Rockets, you don't want to see rockets. And I honestly think that orb is a little bit underrated for this boss. I think the orb is actually quite good, especially when you don't have weapons. You're basically doing twice as much damage every second with the orb. And not only that, like if you happen to get rockets and you have the orb, well, you can get rid of the rockets like super quick. So I think the orb is a little bit underrated. I think the orb is actually pretty good on this snake boss. Alright, so Aquas is going to be heading into this boss as well. And while Oopla is done with the boss, it's time to play the game within a game with Aquas side now. Select the head, left snake, right snake, buzzsaw, laser, snipe, or if he's going to be going out of the cobras on scat. Alright, so Oopla moving on into what is pretty much a time room. However, what he's going to be trying to find here, he's going to potentially be a little bit aggressive with this room. Mainly because he's going to be looking for that orb. He wants the orb for the next room. So we have the right snake is the guess. Let's have a look and see if we got a 2-for-2 winner. No, it is a snipe from the left-headed snake. So still a 50% guessing. That's actually pretty good. Especially with giving how many different guesses you can do in this room. So again, Oopla is pretty much on what it is a time room as long as you keep your kill rate semi-high. Pretty much every room where you see the turtles, you can consider that a time room. Just because they don't spawn as fast as possible, according to the kill rate that you can actually have. And there it is, the orb for Oopla. He's gonna be just going, take it nice and easy on the corner, which unfortunately he cannot really have. Because, oh, okay, he's gotta be careful. So, okay, there it is. Yeah, he gets rid of the Razor Shield. So the Razor Shield was making it pretty awkward to be able to be in the corner. But he gets pretty nice rid of that Razor Shield. And he's just gonna be keeping the left down corner up until this room is over. Which is, I keep saying this room is a little bit of a breather after all the hectic stuff that has happened. And yeah, I mean, I know this room's still hectic, but believe me, it's a breather. Especially because it's a time room, so you can relax a little bit. Right before the longest room of the game. It's gonna be the 10,000 Maniac, the 10,000 guys, the 5-minute room, which are gonna be seeing right after the time room that Aqua is at. Pretty much the next room, it's almost only minions. Almost, because there's still shrapnels and other crazy things sometimes happening. like shrapnel, I mean like swirls and things like that. But pretty much what you want to do is kill 10,000 minions as fast as possible. How fast you can do it, it's a little bit of a combination between your skill and the drops that the game actually gives you. You want to keep your orb alive as much as possible. The uptime for the orb is going to be incredibly important in the next room. And not only that, but also you want to see things like Razor Shield, like rockets. You just want to see the creme de la creme of drops here. And here we go. We're going to be seeing a 33:45 entry into this room. Let's see how long this takes for Oopla. Again, anything like 5 minutes and below 5 minutes is actually a pretty good room. But that's why it's called a 5-minute room, because pretty much you want to do it in 5 minutes or less. I don't know what the fastest time it is so far for this room. I think it's somewhere around 4 minutes and 40 seconds. Something like that, which is just insane. Hitting a time like that in this room is just insane. Forgot a little bit what was the time entry for Oopla. So I'm not gonna be able to make the count at the end. So far doing a pretty nice job to keeping the middle. Going out of the way a little bit for getting that rocket, like, it's absolutely understandable. But you can see just the very moment that he just went out of the way, like, the minions just start going crazy, because it's just the spawn rate here is so high that it's super easy to lose control of the middle. The slightest movement is gonna make them go crazy. Oh, nice dodge! Nice thread the needle right there in between those shrapnel explosions. Okay, so far still doing a pretty nice job, still keeping that orb alive. Having a really, really good kill count right now. Ooh, nice dodge. That was pretty close. But that was a nice dodge at the end. Remember guys, this is also a match for 3rd place. And we're gonna be having the Grand Finals Part 2 on Saturday. Time should be announced pretty shortly. I'm not sure if there was a time already determined by the runners for the Saturday Grand Finals. Maybe there was, so I have to check out. But anyways, guys, we also have going on right now signups for our 4th anniversary Speedrun Marathon for GG Speedruns. If you want to take part of it, make sure to sign up at the link that I just posted right there on the chat. Gonna be happening at the end of November. Gonna be the 4th year anniversary for GG Speedruns. So make sure to come, join the fun, be a part of it, whether as a viewer or as a runner. All submissions are allowed. Of course, we cannot accept all people submitting games, but you can submit everything you want to submit. And 4 years already. 4 years already of GG Speedruns. Crazy. It's crazy. So it was, I say 33:45 entry time, right, for Oopla. I'm almost sure I said 33:45. So it's about a little bit over 3 minutes in so far in this room for Oopla. I didn't see what was the entry time for Aquas, however. Again, ideally you wanna have like a 5-minute room. 5-minute room would be ideal. Close to 5 minutes still good. You don't want to overextend to like the 6-minute mark. And if you can do sub 5 minutes, that's what you really, really would be hoping for. Which I think Oopla has done an amazing job so far. He's getting like decent weapons here and there, keeping the orb alive all the way through, almost not losing the middle through the whole run. So I'm really expecting to see a really good time going out of here by Oopla, to be honest. Making good usage of those rockets, trying to get rid of that Razor Shield sometimes. Usually when the Razor Shield is damaged, you might want to get rid of it to try to force another spawn for Razor Shield. Yeah, especially if you only have 1 shield left. Oh, that was a little bit greedy, trying to get that key, and makes things a little bit chaotic in the middle. Let's see. Okay, it seems that he's taking back control. He'll still a little bit hectic, and he doesn't lose the orb, which is what was more impressive about that. There it is. I don't think I said 33:45. Maybe I did. If I did say 33:45, that was like a 4 minute and 20 and 5th and 20. 25. That was like a 4 minute and 25 seconds, so I think I got my times wrong. If I didn't have my times wrong, that was a crazy 10,000 man room. Oh, Mr. Evil MC moving at the last second right there. Not being able to keep the orb alive to do the setup for the ball buster. He doesn't get a lot of damage later with the spreader. And then he misses a lover on the way as well, just to get rewarded with rockets. What a troll opening right there by Mr. Evil MC. Okay, but now things are a little bit aligned again, having the lovers right now. Yeah, and things have to go like crazy down south right now for Oopla to lose this match. Like, honestly, there has to be like a power outage at his home or something like that. Otherwise, I really don't see, like, not even the worst of the worst of the worst RNGs on Mr. Evil MC would be able to get Aquas a chance to be able to be back on this run. And it was mostly just pretty well played. It was mostly pretty well played by Oopla, to be honest. Like, Aquas has been playing good, but Oopla just played amazingly good. Nice there to get that spreader. Oh, and he gets inside. He gets inside. The amounts of damage that he gets were crazy right there for being inside. That's the way that you can do the most damage, clipping inside Mutoid Man or Mr. Evil MC and trying to reach the weak spot from the very insides of there. Oh, there's gonna be a continue right now. Oh, getting a little bit of a troll. So sub 41 is out of the question now, but potentially sub 42 can still happen. It's gonna be hard. Oh, and there was an invulnerability right after the death with the spreader. What a troll. What a troll. I think the sub 42 just went out of the way because of that. I mean, there's still time to get a sub 42. Tiny little bit of time, but there's still time. He's gonna have to get those lovers. And he's gonna have to aim them well. Are we gonna be seeing a sub 42? Are we seeing a sub 42? I think we might. I think we are. Yeah. There's gonna be a sub 42 run for Oopla, which is just a crazy good time. Really well played. I'm not sure what Oopla's PV is, but that has to be kind of close to his PV. Sub 42 run. It's no joke for normal percent. It definitely is not. I think we usually saw the average on this tournament of being around 45-minute runs. So a time like that would have defeated most of the opponents in most of the races. It could have potentially defeated at some point. I'm not sure if... Yeah, I think both Brysolf and THX have gotten like a few 42s in this tournament. So they would have defeated them as well at some point in time, I think. This is, however, just a best of one. Whoever wins this race wins it. And yeah, there we go. It's gonna be a 41... 57... 58? Yep. Nicely done. Nicely done by Oopla. Let me ask him something. Yeah, Oopla is saying that he golded the 10k room, and I'm not even like surprised about that. That 10k room was crazy good. I don't know if I did the math correctly, but if I did, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but if I did, I think it was like a 4 minutes and 25 second 10k room. I'm just asking him. Yeah, it was a 4 minute 25. I was not wrong. I was just shocked that, like, I was like, I must have my math wrong. That was crazy. Holy cow. Pretty good run. Pretty good run by Aquas as well. It's just gonna be up north of 44 minutes by a tiny little bit. So it's about a 2-minute victory for Oopla. I mean, still a 44-minute run. Again, I'm saying, I think the average of this tournament was around the 45 minutes. So 44 minutes still pretty good. But Oopla just played insanely well today. Right, let's see if either Oopla or Aquas are gonna be continued to stream so that we can rate any of them. Okay, it seems that they're both out for today. Well, let's find somebody that we could rate. Remember, guys, to join the 4th-year anniversary marathon. GG's to Oopla, GG's to Aquas. We're gonna be having Oopla taking the 3rd place of the league, while Aquas gonna be taking the 4th place. Still amazing spot right there for both of these runners, to be honest. Only being defeated by both CHX and Brycel, which are gonna be playing the last part of the grand finals on Saturday. Remember to give a follow to GG Speedrunners. to GG Speedruns. Check it out for the grand finals and make sure to join the 4th-year anniversary speedrun. My name is Mr. Dino023. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. And as always, we'll see you on the next mission. Have a good one, everyone.